Things were finally getting better, and now your dog feels like a completely different dog again. Welcome to The Dog Who Asked for More, a podcast for dog parents navigating the messy, complicated parts of life with dogs that no one really prepares you for. Each week, you'll hear honest, grounded conversations that help you better understand your dog, feel more confident in your choices, and strengthen the relationship you're building together. If your dog suddenly feels louder, more reactive, or just harder this time of year, you are not imagining it, and you're not doing anything wrong. Spring quietly changes a lot for sensitive dogs. Progress can feel like it disappears overnight. Things feel louder, more tense, more fragile. I'm Em, a dog mom, former vet tech, dog trainer, and canine nutritionist who works with overwhelmed dog parents who love their dogs deeply but feel stuck, burned out, or unsure what their dog actually needs. And today we're talking about why spring can quietly overwhelm sensitive dogs, why it can feel like you're suddenly back at square one, and what changes when you look underneath the behavior instead of blaming it. Spring looks positive on paper. More daylight, more walks, more time outside, more activity. It's supposed to feel easier. But for a lot of big feeling dogs, it's actually the opposite. Because spring isn't just nicer weather, it's more input. More dogs outside, more smells, more kids playing, more bicycles and scooters, more open windows, more noise, more unpredictability. Everything gets louder. And for sensitive nervous systems, more input means more load. And when the load goes up, tolerance goes down. What makes this season emotionally tricky is how personal it feels. You start thinking, we were doing so well. Why are we back here? Did I mess something up? Did I undo all of our progress? But most seasonal behavior shifts aren't about training falling apart. They're about capacity. Your dog isn't starting over, they're just carrying more. And when their internal cup is already full, even small things spill over. A knock at the door, a neighbor walking by, a dog across the street. And suddenly everything feels like too much. Not because they're being difficult, but because their nervous system can never really recover. This shows up really clearly with Fitz. He's incredibly sensitive to routine and environmental changes. If we've had visitors, if the house feels busier, if there's more coming and going, if the day feels unpredictable, the next day is always harder. He's more alert, more barky, more reactive to tiny sounds. If an ant farts, he's announcing it to the whole house. For a long time, I treated those days like separate problems. Like, okay, what do we fix today? More enrichment, more redirection, more let's burn this off. But nothing needed fixing, just listening. Because the issue wasn't today. It was everything he was still carrying from yesterday. Once I started looking at the root, the load, the routine shifts, the lack of real downtime, things started to change. Not perfect, not silent, but steadier, more predictable. And this might look familiar in your house too. Maybe your dog is fine all week and then melts down on the one busy day. Or walks feel great for a few days and then suddenly everything sets them off. Or maybe they seem clingier, more restless, more watchful. Nothing major or dramatic, just off, like their nervous system is a little closer to the edge. These aren't random bad days. They are recovery days your dog never got. It's not a behavior problem, it's a capacity problem. Here's the question I want to leave you with. What patterns might you notice if you looked at your dog's behavior across the whole week instead of just one hard moment? If spring has made you feel like progress disappeared, you're not imagining it. A lot of dogs struggle more this time of year because their world gets busier and louder. A lot of pet parents blame themselves for the things that are actually environmental. A lot of people carry guilt when nothing is really wrong. Their dog is just overwhelmed. Behavior changes usually have roots: stress, load, routine shifts, recovery time. And when you start to look there first, things start to feel a little clearer. And if you ever want help sorting through what's environmental, what's routine, and what your dog's actual capacity really is, that's exactly what we can talk through on a clarity call. Sometimes it helps to think it through with someone who's been there. The link's in the description whenever you need it. So be kind, spread joy, and remember, your dog isn't backsliding. They're just telling you what they've been carrying. Thank you for listening to The Dog Who Asked for More. Feeding your dog shouldn't feel like a daily guessing game. Most dog parents aren't confused because they don't care. They're confused because the advice is overwhelming and contradictory. Picky eating, allergies, sensitive stomachs, too many choices, and no clear direction. That's why I created a short, free quiz called Exploring Your Dog's Bowl. You can find the link in the episode description. Stop guessing and start understanding what actually supports your dog. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you next time.